all new. AM 1150 WTMP.com.
We ready to go. All right. Okay, folks, it's that time again. Even though it's a new time for that time, it's still that time.
Exactly.
I want to make sure I get it out now, start early, make sure everybody knows what's going on. And we're going to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, see, there you go. And we got everything ready, everything set up, everybody in place. I know you guys have had a great 2018, but 2019 is going to be better.
More better.
You got to. You've been working all year to make 2019 good. If you ain't saved your 2018, too late. I'm sorry. I hate to be the one to tell you. It is Friday, the last Friday of 2018, and if you ain't saved it yet, it's too late. News flash, and that ain't fake news. Okay. For those who are ready to participate in the show, Porch Talk Radio, you want to call in. I'm going to give out the call-in number as I do the beginning of every show, because there's always somebody new listening in to the show who haven't heard it before. And the call-in number, WTMP, 813-251-9867. 813-251-9867. My call-in number, because I know Willie ain't got to all of you guys yet at this new time.
But we will.
My personal Eddie Adams cell phone number is
You can call it anytime.
813
Resistance is futile.
251 3312.
You can call it anytime. Go with it now.
813
3 in the morning.
230
Resistance is futile.
3312. The website, Porch Talk Radio, porchtalkradio.com. And Eddie Adams Jr. personal email is Eddie, EDDIE, at Porch Talk Radio. And our sponsors, the people who allow us to bring you this great show at this new time. Yeah, they late. See, they call it.
Is that a phone ringing?
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
That's the phone ringing, but
We're
they
getting
late.
there.
They
Blessings
late, so
are
they
headed your
missed it.
way.
They missed it. We went on to something
Oh,
else.
come on.
They missed it, so we went on to something
Let's
else.
celebrate New Year's Eve early.
Print Fast, our sponsor, has got us through the year, been with us all this time. Don Desprow.
John Desprow.
John Desprow.
Close.
All your printing needs. Print Fast, 813-621-9444. Hillsborough Republican Executive Committee. Been with us since the beginning.
Thank you.
And we just got to make sure I get up at the next meeting and tell them that we got a new time. For all those folks who was listening at 10 for us, and we wasn't there at 10. We were now,
Yeah, listed on the web too.
now at 1.
Okay, good. So our worldly planet people will know.
Yeah, Todd Jones, property appraiser. Todd, been with us a long time.
Thank you, Todd.
If you need your property appraised, call
He's the man.
Jones. All right, got through those. Want you guys to have an update. The update on the wall. I know many of you who are actually listening today are not concerned, but it's over $18 million of American free citizens who have donated their money to building the wall. So,
But would you call it the wall or just security?
well, they could call it anything they want. I'm calling it the wall.
Okay.
On Porch Talk Radio, we talk about the wall. So there's no misunderstanding of what the hell we talking about. We talking about Trump wall, whatever they want to call it, whatever name they want to call it, the China wall or Trump wall or whatever wall it is. But these folks are donating. Yeah, Trump's Trump's "Make America Great Again" wall.
I heard Paul Ryan state that walls are ineffective, especially over mountains. How does that work with the China wall, I wonder?
Well, they built
mean,
it with slave labor, and it works. And because
Over mountains.
over China,
It's
because
still
they
working.
were.
It's still working.
It's still there.
It's still working.
And here's the deal, though. But you see,
And it's longer than this wall.
people are bringing these sort of straw man arguments up. The idea is when you have a barrier, a wall, the same sort of thing that, I don't know, Hillary Clinton talked about. When you have barriers, what you can do then is that you can direct a lot of the illegal traffic to specific places where it's a lot easier to guard when you have decent barriers places, because people won't take people will always look for the easiest route as opposed to the most difficult route. So if you've got a 30-foot barrier that is being monitored, especially electronically, maybe someone chooses another route.
I bet there's no statistics or anything. They might be, but I don't have them. I bet that 90% of the people in Congress, which includes the House and the Senate,
Live in gated communities.
Yes.
live in communities
That have walls?
that they either their community is gated with walls or their home private property is gated with a wall. I'm just gonna jump out there on the limb.
And some will have security that actually has guns.
And they will have security and that whole thing. And we all know Mr. Trump has a wall with security, and they will shoot you. They will shoot you, not warn you. So
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you don't get a warning
you
shot.
don't get a warning shot. I'm gonna say it like this: if you get a warning shot, it's because the guy missed.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to warn you; he was shooting at you. So
Yeah, so this whole idea that barriers don't work is ridiculous, because barriers have worked for literally thousands of years. Thousands of years. I mean, so all you religious folks, think about every place in the Bible talks about having a wall. Every place in Europe, every city, every kingdom had walls protecting their cities. So walls have been great barriers for a very, very long time.
hell,
Even the Vatican is
Vatican
against
got
it.
wall. The
But the
Vatican
Pope
got
has said
walls.
we need to not do walls.
They got
Well,
wall
your
and
Pope is-
Swedish
Not my
police.
Well, you know
And
what?
Swedish police.
I don't claim him.
They got international, snipers and folks at the Vatican, guarding the Pope and his
Oh yeah,
people.
the Swiss
With
Guard
guns,
does.
real
Swiss guards.
The Swiss
yeah.
Guard does.
Yeah. So and they got the loudest, funniest outfits you want to see.
It's awesome.
But they will shoot you too.
They're all. We're
So-
talking about $5 billion, and people are saying that's an awful lot of money. This continuing resolution is $4 trillion. So $5 billion of $4 trillion
It's like
Is a-
couch money.
is within the
Couch money.
which
Yeah.
is
Good.
it's within the margin of error. It's a
Yeah.
rounding error.
Yeah.
It's less than 1%.
Yeah, it is.
It's nothing.
And the thing about it, the money's gonna get paid anyway because you're paying it in benefits to people that don't supposed to be here.
Yeah, you're gonna get your money back, but because of the money that you don't spend.
Yeah,
Good
'cause you say-
calculating.
which is the way Congress usually work. Because they say a cut is a benefit, and if you cut this, you actually donated money to that, and the way they run Congress, a plus dollar in Congress is $5 million minus dollars is somewhere else because they get a budget. Well, they don't do budgets no more. Let me throw that out.
And this is
They don't have to. They just
you
keep
see,
printing
but
money.
this is part of the problem in
But ain't our
all this shutdown ridiculousness. Golly, I almost cussed.
Ooh.
Because it really bothers me, because there's first of all, there's no reason to do a shutdown because everybody gets paid. Everyone gets their money later, so there's no benefit financially to doing it.
Early vacation.
And the idea is there's no reason not to do it. Who else gets a whole class of employees deemed non-essential? What business in the world gets, hey, welcome to Acme
Incorporated with Roadrunner.
Your job is non-essential.
Non-essential.
And so if we get in trouble, we're gonna send you home for a few days. But it's cool.
You just run.
You're
Because
gonna
we're
get
gonna
paid
pay
back.
you anyway.
You run from the coyote.
Who
That's your
the?
job.
How the hell do you run anything like that? So this whole idea is this kabuki theater that doesn't make any sense anyway.
Well, I'm like this.
Makes me. That's why I almost cussed.
Let me say it like this. You got people who are criminal. I mean, like the police walk in and you walking through the bank with bags with the money sign on them. And you walking from the
Except
bank.
they don't have those. You don't have those. But okay.
You're walking through the bank lobby. Just left the safe, and the bank manager and several of the employees are tied up with the muzzle still on the mouth. And the police walk in and they say, "We're not robbing the bank," and the police just let them go.
We're not robbing the bank. I don't care what it looks like. We're not robbing the bank.
It look like we're robbing the bank, but we're not. Believe us. We're not with CNN. We're not robbing the bank. And that's the way they carry on. Because you got a whole bunch of people on one side that are called Democrats who were caught doing crimes repeatedly, giving money to people by the billions.
Other countries that hate us,
Other countries.
they vote against us at the UN every time.
And giving us, uranium, which, we don't have enough ourselves, but we can give it to other people. And then we got Russians and other foreign governments who have been spying on us for years and years and years. But now we got people who are American citizens who we know was working with these folks, but that was not a crime. But they're trying to make a crime out of something that wasn't a crime. So anyway, that's what's happening.
If we're going to talk about crimes that are okay on one side but not the other side, how many pictures have now surfaced of Barack Obama signing caps for the military?
Well, see, that's different. That's Barack Obama.
And now that Trump is doing the identical thing, now it's illegal.
Well, it's always been illegal, supposedly, but again, it depends on who is president as to whether something is legal or not. Because they got pictures of Reagan doing some stuff way back in the day that now they say, well, Reagan did it. Oh, it was okay then. Now it ain't okay. And I like how CNN jumped out there. Trump is the only president to not go to a war zone. And at the time they said he was in the war zone.
But also,
signing Make America Great Again.
Do you remember on Christmas, Barack Obama actually going to the military? Oh, wait a minute. That was the base in Hawaii he was going to.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Hillary went because they were shooting at her.
That's
her
right.
helicopter.
Sniper. She ducked.
Yes,
and it missed her. Sniper hit.
Yeah, she was on the runway.
Oh, no, that was the wrong lifetime.
And they were dodging friendly
no,
fire.
that didn't really happen.
Oh, yeah.
She lied.
I'm just
But it's okay for Democrats.
Well, welcome to Porch Talk Radio this morning, people. It took us no time at all.
Jump right on up in it.
To get off our planned agenda.
Exactly.
One of the things we want to talk about today, and some of the shows earlier have talked about the upcoming election. Well, for those who have not heard, there is a City of Tampa election coming up in 2 months.
Why?
I don't know, but it's coming. It's coming fast.
I'm just saying.
It's coming fast.
I'm about to let you down.
So last
Yeah.
week we talked about the mayoral election and some of the candidates and how much money they had. So to not be outdone, we are going to talk about the city council. And as I said last week, these are not domains known to be inhabited by Republicans. So in the history of the city of Tampa, and see, every time I say this, somebody will call and claim, Martinez. Martinez was elected to the mayor of the city of Tampa as a Democrat. He became a Republican when he ran for governor and won the governor for the state of Florida. Martinez was not elected as a Republican. He got elected as a Democrat. So far as history goes so far, we have not had a Republican elected as mayor of Tampa. And good Democrats remind me of that all the time. That's one of the things they live and die. That's one of the reasons they couldn't let Rose for leader win, because at that time, no Republican had ever...
Rose was registered as a Republican at the time.
Yes, no Republican ever won. Even though she probably was the best candidate,
She was.
she still didn't win because she had an R. So we got that clear. Now, let's get to the stuff I know you all been waiting for. Okay, we got some people with some money. We got some people who are real candidates running for candidates for the city council for the city of Tampa. The city either gonna shine brightly like a bright star on March the 5th. I think the election's on the 3rd. So give them 2 days to miscount and recount and do all that other counting that's known to happen here in Florida. No way you're gonna know that night exactly who won, because somebody's gonna sue the city and sue the all the folks involved and the whole process.
I don't know, Eddie. I think that all the Democrats are in charge. The Democrats are counting the votes.
Oh, that's right. I just thought about that. Willie.
So the idea is that we'll know.
Yeah,
We'll know before you go to.
We'll know before the election is over with who won.
Yeah. So.
Because Democrats are doing all the counting.
Everybody's doing all the
Oh,
counting.
yeah.
So there's no reason.
The supervisor of election is a Democrat.
Yeah.
All the candidates for city council are Democrats.
We
All
may
the,
know
all
2
the,
or 3 days before the election.
all the members, because they're going to have that meeting before the election.
They
to
probably have
decide
already tallied up
who-
all of the votes in the local cemeteries to try and make that happen.
They don't need cemetery votes.
Who's gonna pay the most though to get those votes?
They don't need cemetery
They're dying
votes.
to get those votes.
They're all Democrats.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
So there's no reason for all that. They'll just, I don't know.
Okay, let me tell you. Okay,
Make up a number.
City Council, Tampa City Council, District 1. We have Joseph Citro, David Luce, Craig Newman, and Walter L. Smith II. Those are the candidates. David Citro has $17,000. David Luce has $10,000. Craig Newman has $22,000, and Walter Smith has $5,000. I didn't read that in any order. That's just the order they are listed on the Supervisors of Elections website, and the dollar amounts are listed that way. Now, of those guys, I know 2 of them, and 2 of them I can call friends. Only one of them am I supporting, and I am supporting and helping as much as I can, as hard as I can, Walter Smith Jr., Walter Smith II, because I was supporting him during the regular election. So again, I'm not keeping anything secret. I'm gonna let you guys know who I'm supporting. Some of these other races, I don't know the folks, and I would not vote for somebody just because they're black. I'm just saying that now, because I just learned that there's, other than District 5, there's some other black folks in the race. So again, I ain't gonna tell you to vote for them just because they're black, because that would be the worst reason in the world. Because
Are you trying to get the most qualified then?
Then we can end up like Detroit or something.
Yeah, how's that working out?
Cleveland. Yeah,
Chicago,
because all their councilmen are black and yeah,
going to hell in a handbasket.
yeah, going fast. So we don't want that to happen in Tampa.
No.
And we know it won't happen in Tampa because some of these folks are pretty good candidates. Now, again, let me throw it out there. For City Council District 6, there's only one candidate. Guido
Maniscalco.
Maniscalco.
So no one's running against Guido?
Nobody's running against Guido, and Guido is kind of like David Straz. He used to be a Republican. So Guido can't lose that race at this point.
He's got the lead.
That's one they will not have to recount.
Yep. Not at this point. Right.
District 6, Tampa City Council won't have to have a recount at this point. Now, there's still some time left because there are some people still trying to qualify by signature. So they may get enough signatures and may show up for Guido's race just to give him a challenge. I don't know. I don't know if Democrats do that. They would have to have a big meeting, and the Democratic leadership would have to say, we want somebody to challenge Guido because we don't think he need to have that spot and not have a challenger. Again, parties do stupid stuff like that. Okay, let's go back up to where I was. Okay. You got in City Council District 2, Nicholas Glover, who I have been told is actually black.
Glover?
John
Couldn't figure.
Goodwin and Messiah Lightburn.
Shia Lightburn.
All right, I was close. I was in the ballpark.
There you go.
Yeah, you were close.
You got a college education.
He educated.
He's educated.
You're the one with the master's degree. I just wanted to read.
We ain't going to levels of educated. I'm just saying you're educated. I would give you credit for it. I give you the benefit.
Rolling
of the
on.
doubt. Okay. Nicholas has $3,900.
But you're so well spoken, Eddie.
I am. When white folks can't say nothing else, they say you're well spoken. I guess that's why you got a radio
You
show.
can pronounce your words. There you go.
Okay, John Goodwin has $8,800, and
And Shia Lightburn has yet to raise a nickel.
has $0 reported, because this is just reported to the supervisor of election. So they got $0 showing up. City of Tampa, City Council, District 3. This dude I know. I know John Dingfelder. He was a county commissioner at one time. Stephen Lice and Viva Shewade.
Can you say that real fast?
It's like biblical names suddenly. It's like Old Testament names suddenly.
Yeah, and they did that just to make the show bad. Put it on that. Okay, so
Even Shivade? Yeah.
these folks have John Dingfelder has $95,000. That's no money to hush at, you know. Matter of fact,
How much?
John Dingfelder has more money than anybody else running for city council. So he got $95,000.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Stephen Lights has 41, and Viva Shebad has, I know I screwed it up, but that's okay. This radio.
You know who you are.
And if you're listening, you know her, call us and give us the pronunciation.
Right, there you go. Has $3,700. Tampa City Council District 4, Bill Carson has $60,000. And Salvador, Gouliaria Jr.
Excuse me?
Go.
Did you say a bad word?
Yeah.
I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke.
This is a radio show. We should not have this much.
Salvatore, or I'm sure they call him Sal.
Sal.
Giardo
That's
Jr., yes. The
It-
same
it
name
could- it
as
could-
the
it-
person
it could be.
on TV, yeah.
Yeah, it could be, yes. And they have $30,000 running for District 4. Now, this is the good one. No matter what they do, you're gonna get one black city councilman. Cause they're gonna put them all in District 5. And that's
That's the only place you're allowed to be?
traditionally, that's the only place they run.
Ah, so only black people allowed in District 5 to run.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Well, this year's a little different. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah, but this one we got 1 and 2.
And one
We got
and one.
1 and 1. So I mean, technically, if we could have 3 on city council. 3 of the 7 could be black. I don't want to say that because people get mad at me
Uh-oh.
in the black community.
No.
People in the black community get mad at me.
You're their
You know,
favorite, Eddie.
You know, because I've been saying ever since we had a radio program 9 years that we need a black person that's not in the black seat. So, so this may be my, passion coming true. We may get somebody in 5 and one of the other ones. So, I mean, it's possible. Black folks in this community, wake up. You need to make that happen. And I'm not saying it just because they're black. I'm just needed because you're 25% of the population, 26% of the population. And you should have had more than 1 seat a long time ago. That's just me. throwing that out there. Okay, so you got Ella Kate Coffee, and Ella has $400,000. Todd Dwayne Cole has $4,100. Orlando Goose, a good friend of mine. That may help or may not help. I'm just throwing it out there. It's just information.
Maybe you should have called him first to see if you
Yeah,
see that
yeah.
on the radio.
Yeah. Orlando has $44,300.
You can do something with that.
And Orlando's an ex-Tampa policeman, 28 years, and he's a good guy. I'm just throwing that out there.
But he's not the favorite.
I don't know who the favorite is in this race, but you got Jeffrey L. Rhodes, and he has $15,000. And you got another good friend of mine, Ralph Alexander Smith, and he has $12,400. I'm giving you the dollars amount because it used to be important in politics, and in some races, it's still important because, I mean, it's a lot of people wishing they could have did stuff and they could have bought stuff and they could have did something that they didn't do because they didn't have the money. At the end of the day, it's not many folks running for something who gonna finish their campaign and say, you know, I wish I could have done that, especially on election night when they lose. I'm just telling you, been there, done that, understand the process. And then the city of Tampa City Council District 6 has Guido, and Guido got $24,000 just in case somebody show up at the last minute. Like,
Or maybe that's for his, what's that party they have when they win?
Victory party.
That's probably for his victory party.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think they won't let you
No.
spend that money on
No.
your victory party.
No?
No.
Yeah, it has to come from somewhere else for your victory
That'd be
party.
a hell of a party.
Yeah.
I think some of the money that we're looking at now sort of shows support for some
Yeah.
of these people, or support, or how they've been able to get their name out, and you know, at this point possibly.
It's to scare people.
Yeah.
See, technically, if you got a bunch of money for folks get in the race, if you got a lot of money, that may scare folks from getting in the race because they already know you got $20,000, $30,000, which for a city council race is not a lot of money, but it's enough for somebody starting from scratch.
Well, and the city council districts are so small to where you don't need county commission money. You don't need
Right.
200
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
$40,000 or $250,000
Yeah.
For a city council district.
Or millions of dollars, because I actually went to supervisor of election website and to pull these numbers down, and I found out that you got people, county commission, you got 5 people already on the county commission for county commission seat 1. You got 5 people, and one of them got $300 and some thousand
Ouch.
already committed to 2020. So you know, this is more information than some of you care about, but I'm just letting you know.
And you can find out yourself if you go
Yeah.
to votehillsboro.org.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
votehillsboro.org.
Yes, and last but not least, we have City Council seat 7, District 7. You got Quentin Robinson, who has called me several times, even though I don't know him, but I have not met him yet, but the effort's been there on Facebook. And since I'm not a person that spends a lot of time on Facebook, I've noticed it, but you kind of have to talk to people on Facebook when you got time, you know, and I have not had the time when I noticed it on Facebook. And then you got Luis Vega, and he has $67,100. So Clinton better get on his P's and Q's, because Luis is a veteran. He's already there. He's an incumbent, as they call them. So he's going to be hard to beat anyway.
And incumbents are typically hard to beat, especially in local elections.
Yes, especially in local elections. And look at this. You got 2. So you only got 2 incumbents. You got Luis and you got Guido. All the rest of those folks.
John Dingfelder isn't on the board right now?
Nope, he's not current.
Good.
So you got to look at those and see who and what and why you want to go vote for them. And this is my pitched to Republicans. Okay? I already said we have no vested interest in city council. At least you would not think so, because we don't have any candidates. And that's how you really show you got vested interest, is having somebody in your party interested in running for a slot or position. So I guess the Republicans have kind of been beat back to the point, and this is kudos to the Democratic Party. You worked hard, you know, and you do have the majority of the city. You know, it's a minority. It's a majority minority, because between blacks and Hispanics, it's over 51%. So that being said, and you actually have a couple Hispanic folks here on the list. So you know they're represented also, but for one reason or another, no Republicans. But we're gonna participate. I'm telling you that right now.
You know, there are 28 candidates between the mayoral candidates and the city council candidates. There are 28 candidates.
How many spots? How many chairs?
Well, I'm just thinking, I'm thinking out of 28 candidates, there are 28 people who decided to run for something. It's pretty amazing the wall, and I'm gonna use that term on purpose, the wall that's been built around the city limits of Tampa. And the only people who get through are Democrats, apparently.
Yeah.
Especially in elected office.
That's what I'm saying. Now, they worked hard for that, so I'm not going to take anything from them. It's up to the Republican and the management of the Republican Party and the leadership of the Republican Party to talk people into walking through that belt line. You know, I'm just saying, because for the ones that have run,
Sounds like a fraternity thing to me.
because last year we had a candidate, we had Jim Davison, and he ran for District 7, and he made it through the primary, even though it don't supposed to be a primary, he made it to the primary, he made it to the final, you know, runoff, and he just did miss it. You know, but again, I'm just saying, if the folks that are Republican in the city of Tampa would have voted, he could have won. But, you know, because it wasn't a Democrat-Republican kind of race the way the race went, you know, because I was trying to help Jim, I was involved in the process, you know. But this year, we are not going to be ignored. We may be ignored, but it's at your own risk, because we're going to get some Republicans to vote for some of these people, because if you stay home, this is not a race that you should stay home just because you don't have a favorite in the race. You should go home you should go to the polls and vote anyway. But I vote. I can't vote in the city of Tampa. I don't live in the city of Tampa.
I do.
I live in Tampa Terrace, which is a proper city, and we got.
It's a real city out there.
And we got our mayor.
Unless you've been there.
And we got we got our mayor. We got our own city council, and I voted and participated in that proudly.
Marty Fife works there. I've seen him.
And our mayor.
Not Buford T. Justice.
Even though it's a non-partisan race, the same, we do have a Republican mayor in the city of Tampa Terrace. So that's good. Matter of fact, I think the person in Plant City is a Republican too. Am I the mayor of Plant City? I don't know. Okay. Oh, I got okay. The representative of the white race is here, and he's saying yes. So we're good.
The representative of the entire white race
is right here in our midst.
Wow.
So he's shaking his head. Yes. So we good. So we just want to be give you the information. Show up to the different debates that they have, the political rallies where they bring all these folks together, where they put them all on one stage. If you're like me, I am going to have to learn who some of these people are. If you ain't in District 5 or District 1, then I'm going to have to kind of find out and figure out who you are, so I can tell folks right here on the radio to vote for you. See, and if I say it often enough, either you're gonna gain great numbers of people voting for you who don't know you, but they voting for you because I said so, or they gonna find out who you are, and they either gonna see whether they like you or not, and then they'll vote for you or they won't. See, that's a good thing about it.
But you don't know it, you let us know.
See, unlike the last set of races where we had candidates and we had people, and just for those who don't remember, okay, I currently have 3 candidates. I have Donald John Trump for president. I got David A. Strash Jr. for mayor of City of Tampa. And I have Walter Smith II for City Council District 1. Those are my candidates. Now that list will grow between now and election time because again, I am not going to not participate. I'm going to not vote. But I am going to participate. So I'm going to help somebody who's a Democrat get elected because they're running.
And it's not necessarily the Democrat title you're saying, it's more because of the values they hold for, how they can help the city. We're back to qualifications. So, and the best qualified person may be, I guess amongst these Democrats, is the one that just has the most to offer.
Well, I'm gonna select somebody who, of those available to vote for, I think would best represent me, which is what every citizen should do, no matter what your party is, no matter where you're at. You know, who you think gonna do the best job, and since they are your representatives, you know, they are going to be the people who you should choose.
Yep.
And then when they have an issue at city council, they have some feedback issue with somebody or some discrepancies and they need you to show up, you know, then we need you. Okay, I know we got a caller. So welcome for finding us at this new time.
Help us with the pronunciation, please.
At this new time. Welcome to Porch Talk Radio. What say you this afternoon? Hello? Yes, yes.
Glad you guys are back. WTMP on Saturday morning presents a panoramic view of our community and our issues and things like that. And I'm glad you're all back. Eddie, you mentioned something in that race where Louis Sierra is running again. There was a black woman in that race the last time, which I thought was a very competent lady and everything. And I think she would be a good candidate to run. I believe she was a Republican also, but in a nonpartisan race. But she had her act together. I can't remember her name now. And maybe the community should recruit her because that city council race that Louis Sierra represents, it's like night and day. If you're south of Fowler, nobody pays attention to that district. If you're north of Fowler, that's New Tampa and all like that. That's the rich part of the district. And it seems like that's the only part of the district that he pays attention to. And one other thing before I hang up, you got to remember, they're getting this guy elected to be mayor in about 4 or 8 years. I just want to put that out there, hear your thoughts about bringing the black woman back. And this guy is really, he treats the district in rich vibes. If you're on the south end of this district, you can't forget about it.
Thank you. Thank you, Pete. We appreciate that. Also, there was a sister by the name of Connie Burton that was running, and I'm not sure what happened, but it was a lot of faces lit and a lot of glowing eyeballs because that's the real representation that a lot of people think that we need because a lot of people couldn't see Connie sitting up there as a city councilman, but I'm gonna tell you, it'd have been a new day in Tampa Bay had Connie continued to run and had won that slot because, we have somebody actually, you want to talk about fight the power, she's been in the slot so she can really actually done that. And she would have been, and I'm not saying anything down against anybody that's on this list, but Connie represents the people. So you want to talk about a real representative of
She's
people.
a fighter.
She's a fighter. She's been on this show many a times and we've had many adventures together. So again, I was glad to hear she was on there. Then I was sad to see that she's not. But there's still time left because there's still people having petition parties and there's still people raising money. And like I say, we may end up with somebody on there. But again, folks, politics is real. We're glad that the folks who got the nerve because politics is a blood sport. I'm going to say this, and I will continue to say it. There's a whole bunch of people that don't sleep at night. There's a whole bunch of people that went into bad health because they thought they was okay, and and they went to sleep and woke up, and something was hurting, something wasn't the way it should have been, and it changed overnight while they were sleeping. So again, you're talking about a person who got in a car fire, and you're talking about a person who have done some things and had death threats and all that stuff back 10 years ago when I was running for U.S. Congress. So I understand how it is. And just to let you know something that's funny, I actually got a call this morning from Senator Lawson, and I had to remind him of back in the days when we was over in St. Pete, standing on the street corner, and me and him was the only two blacks on the ballot, and we was in South St. Pete campaigning together. And back in those days, Darrell was a Republican. Darrell has been both a Republican and a Democrat. So that's a good story. Huh?
How convenient.
Yeah, Darrell Lawson, who is now the state senator for this area, used to be a Republican, and he's a Democrat now. Again, he kind of got fetched by the party, as you would say. They went after him and they got him. They needed somebody to do what Darrell is now doing, and next year, not next year, year after next, because I think they're in 6-year cycles for the Senate seat here in the state of Florida. So it's either 6 years or 4 years, but he don't run every term like those in the House. The House seats, they run every term. So again, if someone's out there listening, and if Darrell is listening, God bless you, my brother. May peace be with you, and keep up the good job you're doing.
And it sort of defines another failure of the state and local parties. And it's a thing that some of us talk about all the time, is how are, and I am, and guys, I'm not trying to bite the hand that feeds us at all. I'm just trying to be real, trying to keep it 100 here. How is the Republican Party interfacing with people like yourself, like myself? Like I wore today my Lawson 2016 County Commission shirt. Why? Because I had a really good friend to donate 24 of these bad boys, so I've got them and I still wear them. That's why.
All the perfect size for you.
And all the size for me, so it's awesome. It's super awesome. But you know what? How is the party interfacing with people, especially black candidates, who choose to run as Republicans, especially in minority districts? Because again, I've been around. I know that's a special thing. That's a special job. It's different if a black Republican shows up in a, for lack of better terms, in a white district.
Is that you saying we got a caller? I guess not. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, you know what I'm saying? So how are we going to get the new Republican Party under the auspices of your buddy Donald J. Trump to think differently and think out of the box when it comes to black Republican candidates who choose to run in minority districts? I'll tell you what, one of the stories I got told by state leadership here is that I should move. If I want to be a county commissioner in Hillsborough County, I should move.
To where?
Where white folks live, I guess.
Move out in the county.
Well, I can't say because of FCC regulations what I said to him.
Okay.
But I was told by somebody who was at the time the executive director at the time of the Republican Party of Florida, suggested that I should move.
Unfortunately, I see from the Hispanic side that the party is beginning to think about doing something. I don't see any active movement
And you won't.
in the party.
It's a good sale.
It's kind of the catch-22. The Republican Party knows that they need the votes for the minorities, but at this point aren't willing to put anything into that. And of course the Democrats have dumped the minorities for sticking to the illegals. So it's kind of the old flip-flop here, and you're like, well, hell, where do I go? And I think we're back down to just principles. What do you stand for? What are you about? Which party better reflects that? And, Willie, right direct to your question, what are they doing? I think it's going to have to take a separate movement outside of the, quote, leadership that exists now to make something happen. I don't see it otherwise.
Well,
I really don't.
I have I have been in touch, and I've been talked to people in the National Republican Party, and Maya Love and Tim Scott and a few of those folks that was around the last election cycle. Maya Love lost, but Tim Scott's still there, and he is one of the first modern Black Republican senators. And they have been told that there will be efforts made for lack of funding and support. You haven't had a lot of Black Republicans willing to run because it's twice as hard. I've done it. It's twice as hard.
Well, it's not going to come from inside that system.
Yeah.
It's got to be outside that system to make it happen.
Retired Colonel West made that effort because he defeated everybody. He raised $22 million, and the Republican Party of Florida decided that he wasn't leading the way they wanted, so they rewrote his district, which was, I think it was 18. It was either 18 or 22, something down south of us. And they rewrote the district so he couldn't win.
Isn't that typical Republican strategy on shoot the wounded and eat the young?
Yeah, and he went to Texas. So we had a good candidate. We had a good elected official, and we had somebody that everybody support, because you don't raise $22 million running for a congressional seat without people all over the country supporting you. So,
what about Herman Cain? He kind of vanished off the radar for now?
Yes, you know what? And he's smart. Herman Cain.
He went into hiding.
He's an older fella.
999.
And he just wants to live his life. And I think that Mr. Cain has looked at all of us and said, screw all of y'all.
Well,
I got a few dollars.
Yeah.
Me and my wife are going to go live quietly and peaceably. All y'all can.
Well, see what happened,
And I think that's good.
They tried black man kryptonite on Trump, and it didn't work because Trump didn't give a rat's batoot about what they said about him. They could have video of Trump, having a 12-some,
Well, he is a billionaire.
And it didn't matter because he ain't say, I am the moral leader of the country. See, he never said that.
He's a politician. Why would they go for morals?
He basically said, in that way, I'm just like the Democrat. I'm like Bill Clinton,
I didn't have sex with her.
So he ain't cared about the moral part of it, and I don't
We didn't hire him for the Pope spot?
anybody to a moral position, especially because I know that's pretty hard to keep somebody morality and make you the standard bearer for stuff like that when you're just running for president. You just want to be the leader of the nation, not the preacher or the pastor or the religious icon of the community, because some of those have fell short too.
A lot.
So again, but traditionally, I'm just gonna say white women is black candidates, kryptonite. So if you got a history and you running and you want to be somebody, they would do like they have done Herman Cain and several other people that come up, because somehow, and even the Judge Kavanaugh, they did the black thing with Kavanaugh. Women, they had like 12 women come from nowhere.
Suddenly they've all disappeared.
Overnight, saying, yeah, I had sex with that guy. He had sex with me. Yeah, he gave me a drink. He gave me some drugs. He did all this stuff. This guy said, I don't know none of these women. I didn't even go out when I was that age.
Pretty much the majority of them have all said they lied now.
Well, but again, that's what I'm trying to say. That's a political ploy. Politics is a blood sport. You can expect whether you had sex with women that you were not married to or not. They come. I think they get paid like $12 an hour to do that.
They do GoFundMe.
$1,200
They do
an hour.
GoFundMe accounts. What's her face got? What, about $500,000 from a GoFundMe account to go live?
Yeah. So I'm just saying it happens. But you got to be prepared for all that. You got to be, spend your 40 days and 40 nights and get that whip that they had in that Mel. What was that Mel?
I don't know what you've got to show, sir.
Well, I'm talking
Mel Gibson movie.
Mel Gibson movie.
He's talking about Passion of Christ.
Yeah, where they had the whip and they whip yourself and you do all that stuff,
Cat o' nine tails sometimes. It's got the little hooks in it that digs into the flesh.
To prove you worthy. I'm just saying, all us not qualified and willing to go to those extents. But it will happen on its own, because we got good people out there, you know, like my girl Candace, who keep talking, and I hate to say it, but the guy married to the Kardashian, you know, Kanye West, is repeatedly making a fool of himself, and everybody who think they're black Republican, let me say it right now, Kanye West do not speak for all black Republicans.
he
Yeah,
Let me get that out there.
Stop elevating Kanye West to anything other than what he already is. You know, I hear what you're saying, Eddie, but I think it's more than that. I think, and we don't have time, but this is deep. This is a lot deeper.
Deep.
Anytime you have a candidate that wants to upset the apple cart by changing the tax system, you'll find that there's going to be massive resistance, because what that does, it changes all the lobbying efforts, because lobbying efforts are basically getting those industries to look better in the tax code. So when you see a Mike Huckabee who says, you know what, maybe we should go with a fair tax or flat tax instead of this regressive actually income tax, they came after Mike with both barrels.
Yeah, they did.
They came after Mike with both barrels, saying, "We don't need a preacher, we need a president." You know,
Mike was moral. He was a moral.
he was a
person.
moral dude.
Yeah.
And you know what? And an outstanding bass player.
Yeah.
He's got a Washburn bass. Dude can play bass. And then later on, you get a Herman Cain who says, "Wait a minute. Maybe a progressive income tax, the way it is now, is not the way to go. Maybe we should simplify the tax code.
Yeah.
The tax code needs a building to hold all the paperwork, and it's completely ridiculously complicated. It's created cottage industries like tax attorneys, tax accountants, just to deal with the tax code. So simplifying it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That puts too many folks out of work. So guess what? Gotta go after him. Why? Because he wants to change the tax code. He wants to change how we get fed. He wants to change on how we get our money. So anytime you see anybody, especially at that level, who wants to change the tax code, they're going to get massive resistance. And whatever works with the ridiculously stupid and naive American electorate is going to work. Whether it's, he gave money to this white woman, and he didn't let his wife know.
Hush
Oh,
money.
hush
Hush
money.
money.
What?
Hush money.
Must be a love child
He
somewhere.
gave,
Yeah.
you see, there must be something else going on. So I lent
Like
some
John
money.
Edwards.
I lent some money to this
There really
woman,
was a love child.
and I didn't let my wife know. And now that disqualifies me from being
$2 million.
president? Really? It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Because the American electorate, we act like everything's reality TV. And everything is this big emotional nonsense. So we can't see through it because we're so in it.
Because everybody wants to be famous, and that's something recent. That's not a phenomenon from the 40s or the 50s or the 60s. That's something from the snowflakes and the butthurt folks who of the last couple of 10 years who just getting to the point to where they don't have a grasp on reality.
Well, we can all be, but you see, technology allows us to be famous.
Yeah, oh, it does.
And
Anybody.
where in the 40s, technology didn't. And there were gatekeepers that kept people from getting their message out.
And-
There were
and
radio
communities.
stations, and there was people like, you know what, you had to go through all these channels to do this, where the fact of the matter is that Joe Rogan, who has one of the largest podcasts in the country, and has got millions of subscribers, millions of listeners, doesn't.
Right.
There are no gatekeepers. He gets to say whatever he wants to say. He gets to interview whoever he wants to interview. And anybody who wants to be mad at Joe Rogan, they can just be mad at him. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
This wasn't the way it was before. Everybody sort of got a total line in the traditional media sense now. And, but no one out there has to. So it's easier to be famous. It's easier to have a YouTube channel where people watch you eat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all day. Watch you eat food all day. But anyway, on this day in history,
I tried that.
I know you tried to get them.
Tried.
On this day, December the 29th, 1813, the British burnt Buffalo, New York during the War of 1812.
And it's not recovered since.
No.
It's still burnt.
Exactly the same.
It's still burnt. On this day, December the 29th, 1845, U.S. President James Polk signed legislation making Texas the 28th state of the United States. You don't hear much Polk
Congratulations,
news,
Texas.
Polk news,
It's
Polk-
your birthday.
Polk news these days.
Oh, James Polk?
No.
No. I think that was his largest accomplishment right there.
On this day, December the 29th, 1890, the U.S. 7th Cavalry massacred over 400 men, women, and children at Wounded Knee Creek, South Dakota. It was the last major conflict between the Indians and the U.S. troops. Nowadays, Indians are U.S. troops. Just throw that out there. On this day, 1911, Sun Yat-sen became the first president of a Republican China. And last but not least, thought this would be good for some locals. On this day, December 29th, 1937, Babe Ruth returned to baseball as the new manager of the Class D D-Land Reds of the Florida State League. Ruth retired from baseball in 1935.
So I guess back then, Major League Baseball was good with drunken wife beaters being involved in their sport. I guess they were good with it.
But they were focused.
Wait, you gotta remember who Babe Ruth was.
Oh, I remember who he was. He was a drunken, racist, misogynistic wife beater. That's who Babe Ruth was.
That might be why he was in the D League.
Well, he was in the D League because he never managed
He
anything.
managed like Pete Rose.
And they could get rid of him, I guess. But yeah, I guess baseball was good with that then.
Yeah, it was. All right,
Kind of like
Gabriel.
the National Family League
Yay,
now.
baseball!
Gabriel, what you want to add?
Well, I'm glad that 2018 is about behind us. It was a good year to be employed as I look forward to 2019.
You want to be employed until 2019?
That's the plan,
Okay.
until further notice. But going forward, folks, just kind of counting the blessings from this past year and looking forward to what lies ahead, whether politics or not. It's always keeping the focus that God is God. Nothing is catching him by surprise. So God bless all you folks into the new year. Willie?
Yeah, you know what? 2018 was cool. It's going to be over, and nothing I can do about it. Listen, but before, like, are you ready for the new year? Well, who cares?
Basically.
Here's the deal. But here's something that we want to make sure that everybody is aware of. One of the first things happening in the new year, and this is being put together by the Men of Vision Incorporated, on the Martin Luther King Day of Service, a day on, not a day off. The 5th annual Financial Literacy Workshop and the 2nd annual Envision Your Vision book giveaway. It's going to be on Saturday, January 12th, 2019, get used to saying that, at 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. At the NFL Yet Center at 3310 East Lake Avenue in Tampa, 3361. Is that 110? Really? I don't know. I think that's 05, because that's in Jackson Heights.
Yeah.
That's where the Wilster grew up. That's
Right.
where I grew up. There'll be free bags of groceries. Vonville and Crawford PharmD will evaluate all your medications. So bring your medication to make sure that you know what, you're not taking something that's old or expired, or you're not taking too much of it or whatever. They're going to provide ACT and SAT test taking strategies for kids, so you do well on those entrance exams. It's going to suggest ways to increase your reading scores in our elementary school students, because at 3rd grade, I learned that's where the difference is made.
Right.
If they can read at 3rd grade, they're going to be successful in school. So it is important. Again, it's the 5th annual Financial Literacy Workshop and 2nd annual Envision Your Vision book giveaway, Saturday, January 12th at the Yet Center at 3310 East Lake Avenue in Tampa, Florida, 336.
And in 3rd grade for black males, it's a rite of passage, because there used to be a time when you got to 3rd grade, they automatically kept you back because you was a black male. For some reason, unless your parents went out and cussed everybody out.
Was that just in Polk County?
I'm just saying. It was
Because
a-
when I came into Hillsborough County in 3rd grade from New Jersey, I just kicked doors open because I could read.
Oh, well, then that may have something to do with it. So anyway, until next week.
Next year.
Yeah, that's right. It'll be next year. don't spend the whole first week writing 18. It is 19. It is 2019.
Start practicing now.
Starting on Tuesday.
Start writing now.
Until next show next week, have a great weekend, great year. See you then. Bye-bye.
Peace, we're out.